The morning my son Ethan and his wife Lily boarded their long-awaited Caribbean cruise, I stood at the port waving as their ship drifted farther into the blue. They looked so happy, sun hats, sunglasses, and hands intertwined. I wanted nothing more than for them to enjoy this trip, a break from the stressful months they'd been through. But deep in my chest, hidden beneath my practiced smile, was a secret I had carried alone for far too long. A secret I prayed Ethan would never discover. A secret that, once revealed, would change everything. Ethan had grown up believing I was indestructible, a strong, stubborn single mother who always found a way. But the truth was, life had slowly worn me down, bills piling up, my health not what it once was, and a loneliness I plastered over with forced cheerfulness. I didn't want him to worry, especially now that he had a family of his own to care for. So I hid the warning signs. I hid the overdue notices. I hid the doctor's report. And most painfully, I hid my fear. The day they sailed away, I told myself I could handle one more week on my own. One more week of pretending everything was fine. One more week of silence. Except silence can be loud, loud enough to break you. 3 days after their cruise began, I received a call from the utility company. My electricity was going to be shut off. Another notice followed about my medical bill. Then came the tightness in my chest that sent me stumbling to the living room chair, gasping for air. I didn't call Ethan. I didn't want to ruin his trip. But that night, unable to sleep and trembling from fear, I made a single mistake, sharing a photo online of myself wrapped in blankets and surrounded by candles. I tried to make it look cozy, even romantic. But my trembling fingers must have betrayed me because I looked tired, and older than I wanted to admit. I forgot that Ethan had access to all my photos. Thousands of miles away, aboard a ship lit with music and excitement, my son opened that photo, and everything changed. The first sign came the next morning, a knock on my door. When I opened it, I froze. Ethan stood there, sunburned, slightly disheveled, and breathing hard, as if he had run straight from the ship to my doorstep. Behind him, Lily held their bags, eyes red from crying. "Mom," Ethan said, his voice shaking, "why didn't you tell us?" The world blurred around me. "You were on vacation," I whispered. "I didn't want to ruin your trip." Ethan stepped inside and wrapped me in his arms, strong, warm, safe. "You are my mother. You raised me alone. You don't get to suffer in silence." That was the moment the secret I'd buried refused to stay hidden. The eviction notices. The unpaid medical tests. The nights without heat. The chest pains. The fear of becoming a burden. I told them everything, every embarrassing, heavy truth. And I cried for the first time in years. For a moment there was only silence. A silence that felt like judgment. A silence that made me want to disappear. But then Lily knelt in front of me, taking my hands gently in hers. "Family isn't a burden," she said softly. "Family is responsibility, and privilege." Ethan nodded. "We're going to fix this together." That's when the real challenges began. Challenge number 1, my health. Ethan insisted on taking me to the doctor. The truth was harsher than I expected. I had early-stage heart issues caused by stress and neglect. I expected anger. Instead, Ethan held my hand and said, "We face it one step at a time, Mom. Together." He scheduled my appointments, attended every one, and made sure I followed my treatment plan. He even downloaded a health tracking app on my phone, teaching me like I was the child and he the parent. Challenge number 2, the financial mess. This one hurt the most, admitting I couldn't manage alone anymore. Ethan and Lily went through every envelope, every bill, every overdue notice. They created a budget, set up automatic payments, and even helped me apply for programs I had been too proud to consider. At one point I whispered, "I'm sorry." Ethan looked up, his eyes gentle. "Don't apologize for struggling. Apologize only if you hide it again. I promised I wouldn't. Challenge number 3, my loneliness. Lily noticed it before I did. You need people around you, she said. Not just responsibilities. She signed me up for community classes, introduced me to her own mother's book club, and even convinced me to join her morning walking group. The first time we walked together, I realized something shocking. I was laughing. Truly laughing, for the first time in years. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. Slowly, I began to feel alive again. My home was warm. My health stabilized. My finances were manageable. And my heart, my weary, tired heart, felt loved. But the greatest change happened not in me, but in Ethan. One evening, while we were cooking dinner together, he said, I always thought being a good son meant staying out of the way. But now I realize, being a good son means stepping in before things fall apart. My eyes filled with tears. Being a good mother, I replied, means letting your child help you when you need it most. He hugged me, and in that moment I felt something lift from my shoulders, years of pressure, fear, and isolation. My secret had once felt like a weight that would destroy us. Instead, it brought us closer than ever before. The inspiring message. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones hiding the deepest struggles. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit you need help. And sometimes the love you fear losing is the love that will save you. Family is not about perfection. Family is about showing up for each other, especially when life falls apart. And if you are carrying a secret, a worry, or a burden today, you don't have to face it alone. Reach out. Speak up. Let someone in. Your story isn't over, sometimes it's just waiting for one act of courage to begin healing.